I mean, I don't know who came up with that, but hats off to you, because that alone is probably going to get you guys lifetime customers.
Welcome, Fury fam, to the inaugural episode of Tread Talk, the official podcast of Fury Tires, where the rubber meets the road and off-road. On this episode of Tread Talk, host Andy Grant delivers a one-on-one with one of the industry's most prolific and in-demand build managers, the truck guru himself, Cris Payne. Here's your host, Andy Grant.
All right, Chris, man, welcome to Tread Talk. How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, of course. So, you got some street cred in this side of the world, side of the industry.
A little bit.
Little bit.
Just a little bit.
So, man, explain to the viewers who don't know what you do.
So basically, we are, I would like to claim, the elite project managers in the industry. So we do everything from the project management, which is placement, promotions, marketing, designs, other shows and events, product influencing, testing, the whole 9 yards. We're all encompassing. So we literally do everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you put together, help people, essentially build their
dreams.
Yeah,
exactly. Build their dreams.
I want to SEMA truck. I'm going to hit up, Chris, and go along that route.
If you want to SEMA truck, you want to hit me up.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the other guys, they don't really have the heaviest focus on SEMA. They kind of do build management, whereas I like to say, if you don't want to do SEMA, you're not serious about it. Because I know it's more expensive, but that tells me, it kind of weeds out the bullshit from the jump, right? So If they don't want to do SEMA and have all the expense and travel and stuff and just have the experience, that tells me that they really just want free shit. And that's not for me.
Right. I mean, we all like, working together and doing products and placing products like that. But,
Absolutely.
Got to kind of weed out the, BSers, so to speak.
I have a really good vetting process doing this for the last 14, 15 years. I mean, I'm really good about sniffing the bullshit from the people who basically just want to come to us, get free products, turn and burn, sell their truck so they can do it every year. I mean, that's okay if you do all the right things in between, which we do a really good job leading our partners to do those things. So that's why companies like Fury and everybody else like to work with us, because we really hold our clients to the highest standard.
Okay. All right, man. So, explain to the viewers, or not viewers, let's explain a little bit, how did you end up doing this? What all of a sudden you just fall into it? How does that work?
So it was kind of a hobby, and I never, ever envisioned myself being this big in the industry or having the network that we do. So we kind of just started as a passion that I had for myself, and I quickly learned and understood the whole process, and people kept coming to me asking me for my advice or my assistance, and that's kind of how it got tailored into a job. It was something that started as a fun experience for myself for many years, and then too many people started asking me for my assistance, and I said, you know what? There's something here. I can do something with this. So I worked in the oil fields for 14 years, most of which I did the truck stuff simultaneously. So I basically had two jobs. And I mean, at first I didn't really take on as many as I do now because I had multiple jobs. But now that this is my sole job, I'm able to do quite a few trucks.
That's awesome. So for instance, this year here at SEMA, what is the number of trucks you brought?
64.
64 trucks.
Yes. That's last year I had 62, and it's really hard. I didn't see myself upping that number, but here we are. When manufacturers call me and say, hey, Chris, we need your help, we need a build, I got to answer the call.
All right. I mean, that's fair and warranted. I mean, hell, you've been in the business a while doing build management.
I'm the call that they make when they're in trouble for the most part. They messed up and hit up the wrong guy, and something fell through, or they know it's going to fall through. I'm the call they make to save the day. So it's very humbling to know that in the industry, I'm the guy that companies call when they need the help. That to me is the coolest thing ever.
So being in this biz for so long, do you have a top build that was your all-time favorite, or is it?
I mean, quite honestly, I've had so many builds that I don't really say I have a favorite. I have a lot of builds that have done different things. I mean, for instance, my build that had FURYTIRES on a couple years ago, that was the boat with the smart car on top. I mean, 2 magazine covers, had a lot of traction. It just depends on what element you're looking for to consider the favorite. I've literally done everything from mild to wild, smart cars that are over the top.
I mean, literally
quite everything. So we've been in the top 10 Battle of the Builders with a 1,000 horsepower Bronco, which was really cool because we ended up shooting pilots for Discovery Channel, and we got a lot of TV time with that one. So that was for me, the experience was super cool.
All right. So for everyone that doesn't know, walk us through The build you brought back, was it 2021?
Yep.
With a setup and the smart car and the boat. I mean, you made a statement with that one, man.
So I'm kind of known. So Truck Gurus is kind of known for a signature style, which is the element of stacking something on something. I was the one that kind of really brought that here to SEMA, and I did that. I don't even want to talk about how long ago, and I did it with a custom matching golf cart. And then I upped myself. I did Jeeps. I've done UTVs. I've done smart car, and it's not a normal smart car for the people out there that are either listening or watching. It is, long traveled, turbocharged. It's got the vertical doors, crazy sound system. It's a smart car that anybody would be proud to drive.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And then the snow apocalypse in Dallas a few years ago, you see this guy just whipping donuts in the middle.
I was actually pulling my son on a sled behind that because school got canceled and everything. So I hooked a sled up to it, and throughout the neighborhood, through my HOA, everybody loved it.
That's awesome.
My son was wearing a motorcycle helmet for everybody out there listening.
Safety first.
Yes, safety
first.
I am a good dad.
I am a good dad.
Yes.
So, man, how do you do it? Like, obviously you have so many builds, a family life. I know your son's in heavy hitter, so to speak, in some football.
Football, yeah. He's real active. He's 9. Boy Burrow on Instagram, shout out to him. He's really booming. He's got a lot of endorsement deals already. I've kind of implemented what I do in trucks in my son's athletic career, and it's really taken off. So Within the last 9 months, he's grown 30,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's impressive.
As a 9-year-old, I mean, he's really good, but, juggling the family life with, 64 builds is a little chaotic, but I've got a really good system that we've implemented. We do a lot of spreadsheets. We do a lot of good communication, a lot of phone calls. I've just really got it down to, like, my system, which works. And then, being able to rely on my partners, which I have a really good network with and a really good friendship. Honestly, I could call up owners of companies, the heads of whatever company, and they answer the phone. They pick it up. They call me back. We text. So, just my network alone has been what's made me fortunate enough to do what I do.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty impressive. You got to think about it. So many builds, still rocking the family life, still helping your son, like being there. I know we had conversations. You're like, oh, yeah, no, I'm at my son's football game.
Yep.
But, let's get it out real quick.
It doesn't skip a beat. You have to have the family life, but this is the fun stuff, and it's work, too. But the crazy thing is they understand that, hey, if dad's on the phone, whatever, working, don't mess with them. So, it's kind of cool to be able to juggle both of them, and I feel like I knock both out of the park. So, that's my take. Everybody tells me I'm a good dad, so it makes me happy that seeing the success here at SEMA with all the builds and then knowing that I still hold it down at home is a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, I feel like it deserves an attaboy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, with this year kicking off, man, obviously we're pretty early in SEMA right now, but how do you feel the vibes? What do you see that's,
It's crazy because, they sell all these spots, right? And I saw them turning away at least 25 different vehicles that had allocation spots. Like they had a spot for them, whether they were late or not or whatever, but they wouldn't allow them to come in because they were full up. So, all this talk out there from people that don't really know what they're doing, they're actually just full of bullshit. Like, honestly, I have to be, sorry for the language, but at the end of the day, like, they don't know what they're talking about. Chances are they've never came. They're just the people on the outside looking in, trying to kind of cloud what this great, SEMA is from the outside, which kind of, it sucks. But I know, and yesterday the show wasn't even open, and it was pretty much arm-to-arm traffic of people. And I know if you've walked around today, you've seen how many people are walking around. And, I honestly think this is as big as it's ever been.
I can personally say for the last 3 years, coming back from COVID, I knew obviously COVID, put a big damper on things.
Everybody wanted to come to shows after that because they wanted to get out of the damn house.
The show season was insane.
It was booming.
And then SEMA was a little weird, obviously with the international, they couldn't have any international guests over here. But now I feel, me personally walking around checking everything out, I feel like it's finally gaining a little bit of momentum back. It's getting back to where it used to be.
Yeah, you see people from all over the place now again, which is cool because, I had somebody ask me, where do you think most of the people come from? I'm like, look, everywhere, all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
The SEMA show is that show. They come from everywhere to come to this event, and you can see it with the diverse groups of people that are walking around. Some that don't even speak English that are coming to the show as buyers or manufacturers to other broker business deals, and they have translated. It's really cool to see how many different flavors of people there are at the event.
No, yeah. You see people all around, from all over.
Exactly.
So what do you, I know we briefly talked about this, but where do you see the market in the lifted kind of world going? I mean, I know we have, obviously, Fury, we make big stuff all the way down to rubber bands. And
so one thing I like about Fury is they cater to kind of everything from the more mild, which is the practical daily stuff, all the way up to the show stuff, which is the 30s on the 44s and things like that, which it's not for everybody, and neither is the practical stuff. So the good thing about it is you can get any flavor from Fury. And one of the trends that I really see right now is the overlanding and off-road stuff. And I know that you guys are starting to kind of have a little shift and momentum and traction in that way as well, which is kind of cool because you guys don't want to leave anybody behind. And I think that you guys are smart enough to realize that you don't want to miss an opportunity. And you guys have done a great job with that, with your branding, the way you guys market the product, the builds that you choose to be on, the sponsorships that you decide you're going to sponsor. I think everything you guys do a really good job about figuring all of that out.
Oh, no, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We definitely, Overlanding has picked up in the last, I think COVID definitely kickstarted that.
I think it's
getting away from everybody.
Off the grid, going out with yourself or your family. Oh, I think that's really what put Overland on the map, because before it was really, you see a tent every once in a while, but how many vehicles over here do you see with tents on top now?
There's like one every 5 outside.
Exactly, at least.
And then they're like half show trucks, half overland builds that are super
you
clean.
You can get the best of both worlds,
and
people don't realize that. And here at the SEMA show, you see nothing but that.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
They're not going to let anybody come in with I take that back. But, the quality of builds out here is definitely nice. Obviously, people from all around come out to check it out, see what's new, see what's innovating.
Absolutely.
I feel like this trend in the market, yes, everyone wants bigger. But I feel also a slight change is coming back around to where, you're getting a little bit smaller.
It's the trends. They come and they go. And the crazy thing is, like you just mentioned, I think that the big wheel stuff is what sets the trends, and everybody kind of follows the leader. So I think that the show guys are like the leaders, and everybody wants to aspire to be that. And if they want to start, they have to start at a certain level. And I'm not saying that the Overlanding guys are at the bottom. I'm not saying that at all. But, it's more practical, and it's easier to get into to get your feet wet. And then, they keep jumping and jumping and jumping. And before you know it, they're rolling on 30s and 44s with a 20-inch lift and things like that. So, it's, you got to set the goals and go in baby steps sometimes. And, that's the way it is.
No, definitely. I'm definitely loving some of these 17 and 20-inch combos coming out.
That's personally my favorite, is the small wheel, big tire.
Oh, yeah, man.
I like rubber because you don't hit a stink bug and think you're going to wreck your truck or ruin your wheel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was kind of raised in that era, 17s, 15s.
I would say us old guys, but we're not that old guys, right?
No, man, I still got you beat by a little bit now.
Okay.
So, you're definitely known for voicing your opinion on things.
Absolutely.
Definitely the mix of that. And, us being a Texas-based company and you newly coming into Texas, how many years ago now?
It's about 2.5 now.
2.5. Yep. So we've always definitely gone back and forth on, some food.
Definitely the
cost
food.
Of
the food, in my personal opinion, don't kill me out there, everybody from Texas, but the food in California is better. But, I'm learning, when I first got to Texas, I was like, man, F this, F that. I was real like, dang it, I miss everything about California. And after 2 years, I went back to California, and I was like, I don't ever want to come here again. Like, for real. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm like, this place has been ruined. And I guess maybe it took me leaving to see that happening firsthand when I came back. Like, it just hit me a lot harder. So, it's just, I'm really happy in Texas now.
So I got to ask, man, what's your favorite food of Texas?
Shoot. People would say the barbecue, but at the end of the day, I wish I found good tacos, but up in the upper Dallas area, I'm not close to like El Paso or anything, so I don't really get a lot of good street tacos. That's my favorite food. But I like the hamburgers, the smoked turkey, they have brisket, things like that. I still throw down on the tri-tip, but they do make good steaks. I feel like they killed the cow out back and they cooked it up for you, so it's fresh.
Just right out. Still
straight
mooing.
Up. It was mooing to you just put it in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like fresh meat.
Yeah, we'll have to take a road trip. You can go out to Abilene, man, and there's you can just get these steaks that are literally what you're saying.
That's
slaughtered
what I need.
Out back, right
I'm
into
all
the
about
mix.
a good steak, man.
All right, we can agree on that one for sure then.
Exactly.
For sure. All right, so what do you see, moving forward? We talked a little bit about the trends, with the little smaller rim, bigger tire come in. I mean, do you see?
Wheel. You can't say rim.
Rims
wheel. Are for basketballs and bicycles.
That is factual. Wheels. I mean, do you see the industry going above a 44 on like a DOT tire? Like, where do you see the tire industry kind of switching to from an outsider, outsider looking in? You know,
we work with a lot of brands, and they have a lot of big tires. But like you said, DOT regulations is kind of something that you have to stay within guidelines of. I mean, I can see it happening because you see so many, things being pushed line-wise in terms of like how big lifts they're getting, and like what states will allow and things like. Obviously, there's headlight laws and bumper laws and and most states are pretty strict on them, but some states are pretty loose. I would personally like to say I would hope that it doesn't get any bigger than that, because then costs will start going through the roof, and whether you're sponsored or not, even sponsorship price sometimes is pretty hefty still, depending on what brand or what company or how big a tire is. So
yes, of course.
I mean, it's weird because the bigger the wheel, the less rubber you would have, but it costs more money. You know what I mean? So It's just kind of a weird dynamic that most people don't understand.
Yeah, or understand the labor that goes into actually creating the tire
itself. Or how much molds cost, and like they can't just create a new width for you or something like that. It's not a wham bam thank you ma'am like you're cutting a wheel, you put it in a machine and it's done. These are very, very not cost effective molds that are one of one and have to be created, and it's very in depth, so that's why it costs so much dang money.
So what's your personal opinion versus the MT1 versus 2?
I've had both. So honestly, I like the 2 just because I feel like for me it was a little quieter, less rowdy of a tire, but still it kind of had the look that you're going for the look of most of these builds. So you kind of got the look, but you also got the good feel that you'd have with like more of like a crossover tire, like a rough terrain or all-terrain even. But it's, you're still getting the look of a mud terrain almost. You know what I mean? So it's the best of both worlds in my opinion.
No, I'm definitely a fan. That is, I run them on my truck now.
I've had them, and you know what? I'm guilty. I'm sorry. My tires are 42-inch tires, and I don't rotate them as often as I should. And I'll be honest, my Fury tires have held up phenomenally. Straight up, they look almost new. Granted, I only have 15,000 miles on my truck, but they are wonderful tires.
But you drive that thing. That's the best part of it.
I do, and I tow with it. My boat, I'm a boat guy, as you know. Obviously, with my build, I love my boat. And my truck is my tow pig. And I use the shit out of those tires. And they do so well on the road, on the dock. And the dock is built with algae. And you see people slip in and you're like, oh, crap, my Furies do well.
Have you seen those boat ramp videos of the people, dudes
going
to sit
I go to the boat ramp and I watch people and I'm like, do you need help? Like, you seem like you're going to get in trouble.
You get a cue card with a 1 to 10?
Yeah, like $10 and I'll pull your shit out.
No, you got to rate them. Make them feel like, when people are watching, typically.
I should set up a GoPro on a dock while I'm out boating and just get my GoPro when I go back, and I bet you I will capture some shit.
Someone's slipping in a little too deep.
Dude, I see some sketchy things, bro. Boats coming off trailers, grinding their props. I'm just like, oh, my God.
Oh.
And when you have a $230,000+ boat, the last thing you want is to mess something up. And it happens every day, 20 times a day at a dock.
Hey, maybe we need to get in the boat industry, huh?
You'd probably make money doing something at the dock.
At the dock. Got props for you. Switch them out real quick.
Got props for you. Exactly. They're $1,500 a pop.
That's a great one. Got props. Get it?
Exactly. Bumper sticker, trademark it.
Done. Coming soon.
There you go.
Well, that's awesome. So out here in Vegas, man, obviously the big talk outside of SEMA, right now is the Sphere. What do you think of that, dude?
It's cool. From my hotel, I have a really, really good view of it at night, and it's like doing eyeball things. And, when it's really late at night, it looks like it's going to sleep, and I think it's freaking awesome. I mean, I know that I'm pretty sure, given the fact that I know Nick, and he's a marketing genius, I don't know why I haven't seen Fury or any of the brands you guys have on the damn thing, but I do know it is very, very, very expensive.
I think their electricity bill was something like $400 and something grand a day or something like that.
I literally drove past today in an Uber, and I'm like, I wonder what the electricity bill is for this.
Insane, because that thing, you have the outer layer.
It is,
and then you have the inner layer.
People don't understand. It is. You can see it from anywhere in Vegas. It is huge.
Yeah, we were standing in the Strat looking out, and I was like, gee.
They made it look like the moon. It looked like a legit moon in Las Vegas, just right there on the ground.
Massive.
It's so big. It's so cool.
That's great.
Coming soon, Fury Marketing on the Sphere in Vegas.
It's a big tire just rotating around.
Crystal ball, that's what I'm predicting.
All right, man. So you've had your hands in everything when it comes to builds, from lifted, powerful stuff.
Yep.
What do you think would be maybe coming next?
So I know I'm dubbed as truck guru, but I feel like it's time that I step into kind of the car gang. You know what I mean? I want something a little fast, a little fun, ferocious. I don't know quite yet what I want, but, is Fury ever going to step into that side of things? Because if they do, I'm going to sign right up.
You're going to sign right up, man? Well, we can definitely talk about that off the record. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, off the books. I got it.
Can't confirm, deny anything just quite yet. But you never know, man. We're always changing the game up,
Good
obviously,
to hear. Yeah,
so.
You guys are very good and leaders in the game for a lot of things, and that's why I like to partner with you guys and, be a part of what you guys do and work with you at shows and events and just, good brand, good wholesome people. And like I myself, throughout the 15 years I've done this, I cut out a lot of bad people. Even though it's like a good, well-known business or brand, they may have crappy people, and I can assure you that the vibes from Fury are just family. Like, I call you up on the weekends, Andy, right? Like, randomly or 11 o'clock at night, and you're going to answer the phone. We text each other.
Hey, we got to prelim sometimes.
Well, exactly.
Sometimes.
Exactly. But, at the end of the day, it's really cool to be able to do that. And, that's kind of why I think the relationship's so good, that you're able to call me or I'm able to call you and, hey, Cris, can you do this for me? Or, hey, Andy, can you do this for me? And
all right, so, we had some new stuff coming out, obviously, with Fury in the last month or so. It's our total tire protection plan on-road. And the kicker part, it's off-road as well, man. Have you heard about this?
Which is crazy. So that's what I said earlier, the innovation that Fury brings to the table. It's like they're always pushing the envelope of what they can do to one-up themselves. Kind of like myself with my builds and things like that. You guys do with every little detail of tires. And yeah, that plan is crazy, but crazy in a good way. To have a tire company have a warranty of that magnitude for on and off road, absolutely insane. Like, I don't know who came up with that, but hats off to you, because that alone is probably going to get you guys lifetime customers.
Well, we back our tires too. That's the thing. It's, you go puncture a tire off-roading, like, who's going to warranty that?
Sidewall, punctures, like anything like that, a full replacement. Nobody does that. As far as I know,
first in the game, man.
Nobody does that. That is insane. Hats off to you guys for coming up with that plan. I can't wait to see how it, pans out and develops, and how many new customers you get solely for the fact that you have this kind of thing.
Yeah. I can definitely remember off-roading a handful of times.
So what's it called, and how do people get involved with that?
So it comes included with every tire purchase, as long as you purchase tires from one of our authorized dealers, right?
So a dealer, distributor that
dealer, distributor, trickles down, it's at no cost to the end user or consumer.
No cost.
Yeah, they don't have to pay
extra for a tire.
Another $10, $25 tire, none of that.
Wow.
So
there's no warranty fee or anything like that.
No, man, it's all included.
It just comes when you buy the tires.
It comes when you buy Fury tires.
Dude, that's great. My cell phone don't even come like that, bro. That's nuts. And you're talking about tires that are like, could be $1,200+ a piece.
Yeah, it covers all of our tires.
That's nuts. I don't think, if that works, you guys are absolute marketing geniuses, because that plan right there is going to put you guys on the map.
You want to take off some of these big show trucks off-roading. Hey, man.
Some of them do. And they can send it as hard as they want, knowing that within the first 12 months, they're covered. So we're definitely going to have to talk more about that, so I can tell all my, builders and things like that. So that, to me, is going to get a lot more people wanting to go that direction.
Oh, yeah.
So kudos to you, because that's like, you don't even have to force me, because my people will see that and they'll be like, you know what? That's what made me make that decision.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a game changer.
Put you right over the top.
And rolling into 2024, what's better than to not have that insurance while you're driving down the, the street?
To even have that as an option is insane. On and off road.
We'll go wheeling in here, get you a new set of tires.
Hey, we'll put some on the pre-runner and see what happens.
Hey, man, we actually have a trophy truck outside the West Hall.
Bro. Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
So I love the off-road stuff. I'm from the desert, so it's kind of where I was bred, and born. So go out my door, and within 30 seconds, I could be out in the fields ripping 70 miles an hour down the dirt.
Yeah, we actually went out and product tested it, and I was like, rolling good. Next thing you know, we hit this 8-foot jump, and it was insane. Truck Guru, your page, you definitely have a solid following and all that. How do you feel like social media in today's time is evolving and changing?
I feel like you have to kind of see the trends, and you either have to know that it's going to catch fire soon, or you don't. So those of us, I feel like with larger social medias, we kind of understand the elements behind that. So the TikToks, the YouTube Reels, you know, the Instagram Reels, the Shorts, things like that. Like if you get on those early, you have a chance for growth and success far sooner than those that don't. So the good thing about social media is you can blow up from the craziest things. So it's almost like the crazier things that you promote or the funnier videos or the trends just on the outside world that you implement on social media, the better the growth. So I've got a video of my son running from my bull mastiff 200-pound dog, like the Sandlot video with the Sandlot music.
Huge.
And 15 million views. Like just for that. It was like 25 seconds. Just 15. I mean, you got to understand, like if you're not seeing these things ahead of time, you're late to the party. And if you're late to the party, you're not going to grow as much. So the cool thing about, you know, companies like Fury, you guys have a really good element of understanding the technology and the algorithms and the people involved to kind of go out there and, you know, direct influence the masses. And, you know, partnering up with us and all of our partners and people like Lacey Blair and all the other people you guys work with, it's genius. I mean, for companies to understand that and really nurture that along the way is, to me, one of the smartest things that you guys can do is seeing that and helping it along the way.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely love our Fury fam. You know, we got a couple of big key players on our team.
Yep.
And those guys, I mean, they drive all across the country on their tires.
It's just the understanding of feeding the relationships and helping it along the way and having that family vibe, the good vibes, the, hey, let me scratch your back if you scratch mine type of a thing. And, like, it just works. And you guys do a really good job at that.
Yeah, we definitely, my media guy, Eric, man, he definitely turns and burns at events and shows. And I feel like today's time, too, man, like, if you're slacking on the now, you're going to be behind it. I
mean, you guys, look, you're pushing the envelope. I mean, podcasts, you guys are at every show and event, every big trusses, tons of signage. You guys, I mean, you really go hard everywhere you go. I mean, it's just, like I said, you guys are backed by smart people that make good decisions with marketing money, period.
Yeah. I mean, you got to pay to play sometimes, but when it plays well,
when you understand that you have to pay to play, and you actually do that, and it pans out, and you're like, damn, I didn't think spending the extra money up front was going to get that return, and then you see it, and you're like, shoot, that worked, and you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Beat that dead horse all the way to the finish line.
I mean, speaking of, did you see our rolling billboard outside?
I did, most certainly. That. If you guys haven't seen the tram and everything, goes from all the hotels, and it's fully wrapped. There's multiple ones, right?
There's just the one.
It looks like two. It looks like there's one that's maybe it's the other side.
4 carts.
Okay, it's crazy.
Wrap.
They're wrapped. It's absolutely
and
insane.
It's bright.
You guys, I mean, everybody's seeing it. People are like, I've talked to other companies that I deal with. They're like, we need to do that. I'm like, well, they did it first. You know what I mean? You're gonna get that. Like,
ours.
You copied us. It was theirs first. You know what I mean? You'd have better sense trying to wrap the side of the damn Renaissance building before you hopped on a tram.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's always great to be innovative, especially when it pays off, man. I mean, where's that going? So, you know, pushing the bar, doing everything else, the shows, the media. I mean, what is your go-to if you think Fury and tires? What is you know, the first thing that comes around?
They were the first to market a big wheel tire. Mm-hmm. So, like, kind of like, you know, American Force is the well-known brand when you think of a forged wheel sometimes. Fury is that for the tire game. Like, they're the big wheel tire grandfathers. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that you guys are old and sloppy or anything like that, but you guys are the first to do it. So, like, when you think of it, that's the first name to come to mind. Every time.
That was SEMA, I think 16?
It was
17,
quite some time ago.
16?
Yeah, like, it's
you
hard
were
to
in the
think
biz,
yeah.
So what was the first impressions coming to the game?
I was blown away. I was like, really? This is where we're going with this? Because back in 2016, a 24 was like a big tire, a big wheel for, you know, the industry at that time. And then you guys are like, we're going to show 26s now. And everybody's like, what? They have 26-inch tires. Like, it's just insane. And now you guys have 30s on 44s? Like, that's ginormous.
Yeah, that was our big reveal last year. That was pretty solid.
I know.
That was a good one. And on a dually, nonetheless.
I figured you guys would push the envelope and made a tire for a 32-inch wheel that doesn't exist. But, I mean, didn't you guys do that for April Fools or something one time? Like, you faked that you were going to do that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's always good to play with people, especially when it's stuff like that.
And people think you're serious. Like, did you see that? They're doing this.
Well, then you see all the social going around now, and like an American Force 38 on a 42 or something. I was like, that would be a terrible ride.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to do that?
I mean,
just
but
for
people
the
like
clout?
the rubber band look. I mean, to each their own. It's not my style.
What is that song? Bands that make her dance?
Yeah. There's a lot of songs that could be implemented for such things. But at the end of the day, you guys really kill it. All facets of tire operation.
Cool. Well, hey, Cris, man, I appreciate you coming on with us. Always a pleasure seeing you, brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
We're definitely have to catch back up once we get
We
settled
live in the
down
same
and back
area.
in Texas.
We live in the same area, so we can set that up.
All right, brother. Hey, again, appreciate it, bro.
Thanks, bro.